Looks like I still have some unfinished business here. Alrighty, so about a month ago I made a video where I made Pokemon that specialized in specific HM moves. It's an idea I've had for many years, and now I have finally made a start. A lot of you guys asked me to continue this little series and make some more HM Pokemon, and I get it. They're fun and they're whimsical, and that's what this channel is all about. So let's get to it. Right, so last time we did HM 1, 2, and 3, and so naturally we're continuing to HM 4, 5, and 6. Now, depending on what Pokemon game you're most familiar with, these HMs either look quite different or just as you remember. I'm going by the Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald HM moves, but don't worry, since we are continuing the series, there will definitely be room in the future for Whirlpool and Rock Climb, our lost heroes. Well, lost but not forgotten. I don't know what the phrase is. You young whippersnappers, you teach me. I laid out my first set of HM Pokemon so that I could make sure I stay within the design theme I've set out for these guys. By the end of the series, I want them to look like a natural set and not have any differences that are quite jarring between them. Anyways, Strengthmon is up first. This was pretty tricky, but I initially had this idea of like a strong humanoid creature. Just kind of made sense. This guy needs to be able to push those boulders all around the cave, alright? Also, isn't it funny that in earlier generations they just look like round rocks, but as we get into the later generations, it's made very apparent that these are huge, human-sized slabs of earth. Maddening. I got the face down, the big pecs, and now some stylized abs. I don't know, it's all looking slightly strange, and I'm not entirely sure how I feel about it. I'll follow through for now so I can be sure if this is the correct vision or not. Once I actually got the arms and hands down, yep, not convinced. I'm not feeling it, Mr. Krabs. It's not even the design really that looks bad. It's the posing and the way I've drawn it, so honestly, blame me. It's just kind of like uncanny in a way. It doesn't look like a living thing, which our Pokemon probably should look like. These are HM Mons, not RIP Mons. Although, actually, now I'm starting to think, I was thinking, would taxidermy Pokemon be a fun video idea? But that sounds really incredibly morbid. I don't know, let me know your thoughts. Okay, I tried to give this guy a slight revamp, but it was not going anywhere, so you know what, moving on. I'm going to try out the Flashmon instead. I get that a flashlight would make the most sense here, but I actually think a lantern would be cooler. That's it. That's as deep as my decision making goes sometimes. I also just think we're in desperate need for a cute little guy in amongst the HM crew here. X-Ax is kind of a cute little guy, but in that like rambunctious little ankle biter sense, this Pokemon is going to be cute in the same way that sea bunnies are cute. You know, the first part I started with was the main body, which will be like the glass part of the lantern with the light on the inside. You know, actually, no, I don't blame you if you don't know, because like who's using a lantern these days? Why is it low-key Klefki maxing? Like I got this thin part of the arms going up and into the shape of a handle, and I also drew in these little metallic accents which serve as the casing of the lantern. Color-wise, we're going with the exact same color scheme as the other three because it makes the most sense. IMO. The light will be expressed with the same blue I've used for X-Ax and Surface's eyes because it's the brightest color in the entire palette. I did have a little trouble with the eye and mouth color, but then I ended up accenting with white to help it contrast against the blue, and it was all fine. Now we are moving on to Ms. Rock Smash. I already have an idea for the posing in this one. I want it to be dramatically punching the ground with full force. Oh hell yeah, she's doing a punchy kapow. Rhythm Heaven mentioned, if you know, you know. It's funny because its body shape is kind of similar to my initial Strengthmon in the sense that it is also humanoid and has these little spaghetti legs. It is very important that it has huge hands that can punch out rocks at Mach speed. I also imagine it punches the rock with one hand and then uses the other to grab any Pokemon that are hiding inside, hence the chance for a random encounter when you do a rock smash. Did you guys know that, by the way? To be honest, rock smash is an HM that I barely use, so I didn't really know this until recent years, but every time you smash a rock, there's a small chance you get a random encounter. It's actually how you get Nose Pass in Ruby and Sapphire, in case you were ever wondering where to find that guy. Along the way, I somehow transformed this punchy guy into some weird superhero looking archetype. It also has like a bug head, which is low-key hilarious. Maybe just to me, but hilarious all the same. The color palette actually suits this design very well. Granted, it's a pretty versatile palette, especially considering it's made up mainly of gray tones, not grain tones. What does that even mean? Lost my train of thought, but you know, the colors work. I wanted to add a bit of interest to the cape, so I gave it this really icy kind of gradient. It's that deep blue that really makes it pop, I think. Okay, let's be real. We must go back and redo our strength mon because I butchered the first one. Terrible, if I may say so myself. I was deep in thought, wondering what is a creature that is slow but can also be horrifyingly strong at the same time? Because let's be real here, these boulders aren't exactly moving at record speed. So how about a giant slug? Now I get that slugs are basically spineless blobs of water, so a giant slug probably wouldn't do much in terms of reckoning, but this is a fake creature I made up, so my slug is going to be made up of giant muscle, and this muscle is going to be strong as fuck. Mark my words. I did an initial sketch of the body, but then drew over it to refine it a little more because the design is quite simple, so I don't want it looking too jarring. The face is quite a funny detail because it's just a face style that is generally given to itty bitty baby Pokemon, but for some reason it just works so well here. Like, come on, look at this guy. Me? Again, I used the same color palette with the graphite being the primary color. I also added a mid-tone on the face so that it was just a bit easier to see. It also, again, just adds a little bit of interest. Rightio guys, I think it is high time we take a look at the newest batch of HM Mons. Come along. Firstly, we have Shovos, the moving Pokemon, and a normal type. It has the new ability Brute Force, which triples the power of normal type moves but lowers speed. Its entire body is made of dense muscle. It has to move incredibly slowly so that it doesn't destroy its habitat on accident. Because of its enormous power, Shovos tend to be alone in their habitats as other Pokemon are too afraid to live near it. Nextly, it is Luminimal, the glowing Pokemon, and a fairy type. It has the new ability Nightlight, which turns normal type moves into fairy type and makes it immune to dark type. Even though it's small, Luminimal can shine so brightly that even the darkest caverns can be completely lit up. It has a very friendly personality and often spends its days searching people and Pokemon who are lost in pitch black caves. It then uses its body as a light source to help them navigate their surroundings. And finally, it is Batib, the punching Pokemon, and a fighting type. It has the brand new ability Punch and Grab, which turns normal type moves into fighting type and traps rock type Pokemon on the battlefield. This Pokemon is nocturnal and will spend each night cloaked in its cape. When rock type Pokemon build a rocky shell for the night, it will break it apart and take the Pokemon as prey. Its fists are so strong that it can single-handedly punch boulders with very minimal effort. Rightio, what do you think of the latest batch of HM Pokemon? Do you like them? Do you love them? Do you hate them? All opinions welcome, let me know. I've had an absolute blast making them, and now that I have quite a few done, this concept is just much easier to execute. I'm just so happy that I gave this idea a second chance, and you know what? Part 3 can be next week if you want to see more. Or if you don't want to see more, then we just stop right here. Thank you so much for watching my video. Please subscribe to my channel. I upload new videos every single Fakemon Friday or Saturday if you live in Mirage Island, just like me. Also, I know I didn't post last week. I really just want to apologize for that. Lots of personal life stuff was happening, but I'm all good now. You don't have to worry about me. And also a final shout out to all of our channel members. I've actually decided to close my memberships for now, as I haven't really been doing anything with the memberships feature, and I'm not completely reliant on my YouTube income anymore. So yeah, I just thought it's a good time to close them. But before closing them all, I would like to shout out every single channel member that we've ever had on the channel. So thank you all so much for your support to me and the channel. I really, really appreciate all of it. Okay, I will see you you guys next week if I survive the night.